well before it gets to the corner. The thrust is wild, man.
Detail-driven auto detail family, how are you? It's Jacobi here at the shop in Austin. And what I'm so honored to be able to do is have clients trust me with their cars, whether they're their $30,000 cars or $3 million cars. I'm honored to be in this unique position where I get to experience, especially as a car nerd, so many incredible vehicles. Some of these cars that clients give me the opportunity to experience, I'm gonna get into some of the details, of that piece of rolling art, that technical machinery, and maybe just spend a few minutes to reflect on it, geek out on it, talk about what the experience is. So behind me, I have a 2021 Porsche GT4 Cayman. It's a manual transmission car, so not a PDK, a 3-pedal car. And what's unique about this car is the owner sent this car back east to DeMan Motorsports. They take that 4-liter motor out and they turn that into a 4.5-liter monster. Along with being able to clean and experience some of these cars, I have clients that are so generous who go, hey man, go drive it.
Just to give you guys an idea of what the drive is like, we'll take it around. I do have the exhaust on party mode, loud mode, so it may be tough to hear me at times. However, we'll get some feedback on what it feels like. Yeah, what's really interesting is the difference between re-geared and standard gears. I feel like the shortened first and second, you feel a little bit more involved. But here's the thing for me is that, I mean, on a racetrack, a long first could make a difference, let's say, like coming out of a hairpin where you may not need to be, you don't want to shift from, let's say, second to third. If first is long enough, you can stay in first. But right now, I feel like that's splitting hairs because a shortened first just gives you a little bit more thrust at launch. But listen, at the end of the day, she still feels phenomenal. So I'll keep it at that for now. Power delivery is incredible. It does feel better than a GT3 that I've driven. I've never driven a GT4 RS, so I couldn't tell you. However, this does feel extremely good. I'm trying to make it up to Comanche. We'll see if we can get up to Comanche without being stuck in traffic. So yeah, we'll do some trickery, some magic trickery. So yeah. it gets to the corner and you're like, maybe I should brake well before it gets to the corner. The thrust is wild, man. Absolutely incredible, incredible. Let me get you some sound clips, and then we can turn this motherfucker around. Because the more comfortable you get, the more comfortable you get, which is not always a good thing. I shouldn't be this comfortable. I should be very uncomfortable right now. My hands should be shaking, but they're not shaking anymore, so it's a bad sign. That's when dumb guys go back to the shop and go, "You think you can give me 100 more horsepower?" No, sir, I can't. That'd be irresponsible. No, sir.
If we compare the two models which exist, and then we throw the DeMan modificated, is that a word? Modificated? The DeMan modified car, or the DeMan modifications in the mix, we have sort of three cars that we can take a look at and compare, right? So a base GT4, about 120 grand. A GT4 RS right now on the market, about 250 grand. And based on what you can get a GT4 at, plus, DeMan's $50,000 to $60,000 modification investment, about 170 grand, right? So 120, 170, or 250. Let's do this. GT4, about 415 horsepower. GT4 RS, about 495. Are you ready for this? DeMan GT4, almost 600. Hold on, about 505 to the wheels. So we weren't even comparing apples to apples when we talked about what the GT4 and the GT4 RS show up with stock to the wheels. If you're talking about a 15 or 20% powertrain loss, and what this is putting down to the wheels, there's a distinct difference in how much power this thing can put to the ground. RS revs to 9,000 RPM. That's got the GT3 motor in it. This one revs to 8,000, but let me tell you, the experiential difference is night and day. This car pulls like a freight train. She's always mad at you. And most importantly, there is power on demand. GT4 RS, and I have a client that allowed me to drive their GT4 RS on COTA and also on the street. So I got to experience that car, in sort of a city environment, but also on the track. And by no means can I drive that car on the track, a GT4 RS at 10 tenths. I'm maybe 7 tenths, 8 tenths if I, give myself a little bit of credit. But with that said, though, I'm the same driver in all three cars. The RS, it really is an experience from Porsche, from factory, from the GT division of Porsche, because with that induction, the way that car sounds, the way that it revs super high. It's making most of its power above 6,500 RPMs. When you drive this car from 3,500 or 4,000 RPM to 7,000 RPM, man, it is delivering a great marriage of torque and horsepower that it's just pulling. DeMan takes out the motor, they bore it, they stroke it, all rotating masses are forged. A lot of the Boxster Cayman guys, what they don't like about it is that the first and second gearing are so long, so they change the gearing in the car. But I'm gonna tell you, if I could somehow convey just how aggressively, raucously magical this car is, I would say this. If you took a cammed and built Z06 and married it to a, man, what's lightweight and fun? A Miata, and no disrespect to this car, but a Miata is such a flippable car. If you could marry those two, like those companies that put the V8s in the Miatas, I think really that's the only way to explain how it leaves you feeling the entire experience. I mean, it's a GT4, so it's a softer suspension than an RS, but it's got all the motor that anyone could ever want. I was telling AB the other day, I said, on top of this car doing its best to try to kill you if you don't respect her, the best part about this car is, with all the things that the factory has done to give you a car that really thrills you at the seat of your pants and makes your hair stand up, DeMan has hit a home run with this car because it ticks all of the boxes. Lightweight, manual transmission. I don't have to be the fastest guy on the track. less than an RS, a bigger investment than a GT4. But what it does is, if you were just to throw all these things about what you love about cars into a blender and then put that in the oven and bake at 350 for 17 minutes, this is the car you get. This car has changed, it's changed my perception of what I aspire to drive, because I see myself owning this in the next 12 months. I'm gonna throw that out there. Somebody's listening to me, whether it's God, the universe, or somebody with a Porsche that just wants to give me one. But I'm gonna get one of these in the garage and use this as my fun, therapeutic support vehicle. Support Porsche. With that, men and women, thanks so much for hanging out with me on this episode of Driven to Detail. Hopefully I've given you a little taste of what it's like to sit behind the wheel of a DeMan GT4 in a manual transmission. It is magical. So with that, man, you guys enjoy your day, enjoy your week. I'll check back in with you guys here shortly with another episode. You can find me at D2_detail-driven on Instagram. Jump in the comments and tell me what your thoughts are on this car, or anything else that you've driven that's left sort of this indelible taste on your spirit that's really done it for you. But let's keep hanging out, having great conversations, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.